Hey, what's up grinders? I am Zard and this week in General 4 we have a Grosh-Nak week. The epic trails are a repeat, so no need to do those if you already have the Starry Pet leveled up to Mythic. However, if you don't, the Grosh-Nak epic trails are quite tricky, and in case you want to check my gameplay video of the last trail, you can find the clip on my YouTube page under playlist epic trails. I have the video sorted alphabetically, so just scroll down to letter G and find the clip there. Now, before we hop onto the world event, some news first. If you are a free-to-play user, this might interest you. Chronos and Bloodfang can be found from chests. Also, the Hermit tarot card should be pullable from Vault rewards. Also, the devs have adjusted the troop reward pull rate when doing those vault battles. The troop and tarot card rewards have been adjusted so that both categories have a 10% chance to be pulled from rewards. Now, this doesn't change too much, however, this should decrease those Cedric pulls. I think I am not the only one who has been shouting at their screen when those vault keys drop Cedric after Cedric after Cedric. Speaking of vault keys, there will be a vault event again this weekend, so good times ahead. Now, let's move on to the Hunting Relics World event. We are restricted to rogues this week, and the event medal once again boosts both spell and skull damage. The scoring follows rarity, and the higher the troop rarity, the more points you are going to get from the battle. I'm not going to go through this scoring. Instead, I'm going to copy paste the scoring from official news down below on the pinned comment. It For the tier buy-in, this is something between tier 3 and tier 4 for a single user in a full guild. The points per player needs to get is 2800, and if we go here into the leaderboard, we are going to see that just a second while we scroll around. Yeah, this is about it. Okay. Yeah, as I said, 2800, and this fella over here, Michael Martin, has played 76 battles, which is more than tier 2. Tier 2 usually gives 75 battles, so it is safe to assume that you need at least tier 3 and probably tier 4 if you are lucky with the scoring. About the team, we are using this kind of team. We are using Wild Blackheart, this Blackheart legendary troop. Up top, who explodes around half magic worth of gems and then gains around half magic worth of attack, life and armor, which is boosted by all enemies previously killed, and the boost ratio is times 10. So every dead enemy is worth 10 more uh, uh, those stat points, or probably exploded gems as well. Indeed. Troop has armor trait, reduce damage from skulls by 25%, and the unique Demon's Mark trait converts any 2 skulls to Doom skulls when my turn begins. That's not essential here in this build. However, we are using this life and death here in second position. This weapon steals magic plus 1 life from the last 2 enemies and then death mark them and then blesses your hero. Why this weapon is great here in this world event is because the world event medals are going to boost your lifesteal. So you are going to get pretty beefed up hero very quickly when you are doing that lifesteal. And in the third position we are using Mother of Darkness, who deals magic plus 4 true damage to an enemy and the enemy below them. And that true damage is boosted by purple gems, boost ratio 1 to 1. If an enemy dies, she creates 12 purple gems, which will feed back to your life and death. And if the enemy doesn't, she will summon 2 Sister of Shadows. So, in the later levels, if you are going to lose your Wild Blackheart here up top, you can cast Mother of Darkness on the high HP enemies and summon Sister of Shadow in his replacement. In the last position we are using Captain Mako from Black Hawk, who deals magic plus 4 damage to an enemy, and if they are submerged, he will just kill them. And if he doesn't kill them, he will submerge them. So if the enemy keeps that submerge and you can target them with Moko again, then you are going to get that skill. The main reason though using Captain Moko is here that he has that ship's captain third trait that gives all rogue allies a 50% start in the battle. And it's pretty good troop for real. And the second trait greedy also helps in a little bit different build. For example, the greedy trait gives a 2 bonus gold on extra turns. If you are a new player and you don't have this fancy Mother of Darkness over here, you can go and slap Egg Thief over there. That's a pretty good mana generator as well. It has a backup summon. Egg Thief, in my case, destroys 23 random gems, and which is boosted by the gold collected, and the boost ratio is 3 to 1. And she will gain 10 gold when cast. And if you have open troop slots, she will summon Dragon Eggs. And also, she is stealthy, so cannot be targeted by spells unless stun. Um, so basically, you could just spam your Egg Thief and do damage with life and death. And even if you go that further, that you use some kind of stealthy class for your hero, be it thief, be it orb weaver, whatever, then your main troops, life and death and egg thief, will be stealthy both, and the enemy cannot target, and you have option to summon those dragon eggs meat shields and do that heavy spell damage with life and death. Alright. But we are going to use true damage build Mother of Darkness instead that active, because I think I'm going to do just fine here in the early levels with Wild Blackheart as our mana generator. We are using Elementalist class. For that third trait, like always, Snap Freeze, Insulated, Storm Aura, Rock Solid, Lightning Strike, Fortitude, they all help, as you very well know. And I'm using double Nisha and one World Event Medal. Let's try this build quickly. Because of the 50% start, our Wild Blackheart should be up pretty quickly. Just matching that gem over there. We should probably pay attention what these Turk Nala and Feast of Zorn and company will do, because they start empowered and you might have to deny some of the skill alignments in the later levels. For example, now I'm Hunter's Mark and these enemies already are dealing pretty high skull damage, especially if I am Hunter's Mark. Let's explode the board and do a life and death cost there. The metal boost gives nice boost there for sure, and then Mother of Darkness, because the enemy is dead, she also summoned those purple gems. Okay, we have a pet rescue going on as well. Let's do another fight with this build, so you can see how this works out. Pretty simple build. Oh, and I forgot to mention that if you don't have a life and death weapon, you could just use something like skeleton key or just some other true damage weapon that you happen to have, because we don't have weapon restriction this week. So anything that steals life is going to be very good in this event. Let's get our bile up and explode the board. Well, that was enough. Excuse me. At this stage. Let's try one more, because I have those sigils with should we try? I suppose that skeleton key could be pretty good option. Skeleton key is a thief class weapon and deals magic plus 3 damage to the first and last enemies, boost by my gold. And if an enemy dies, you gain an extra turn. The weapon upgrades gain some gold as well, which will eventually help with the Egg Thief costs. The more gold you have, the more gems Egg Thief is going to explode. And I think we want to change banner as well. Let's try maybe this kind of approach. Yeah, I like this. Although, hmm, maybe, maybe this. Brown is good, red is good. Yeah, okay. Let's try this. And again, if you want, you can just use a stealthy class. Well, let's change that. We go and use thief. Good thing about this thief class is that it has this light fingers over here, gains 5 gold every turn. Let's take that. And back up we have a 35% chance to summon a bandit when an ally dies. Stealthy, mm, Child of Sky, another summon over there in Rising Shadows, yeah. Okay, let's try a stealthy build then. Against this mouth of Jordan. Excuse me. So again, we want to take extra turns of course, and we want to get our ball up. Now, we would get a total amount of 30 random gems, but let's explode the board first. Now let's generate some gold. Then we could do a cast over. Wow, the Rising Shadows kicked in, I think. Okay, let's fight Orc Veteran one more time to demonstrate this team. This is pretty good, in fact, I think. You could pretty much save your egg thief until the point your vile black heart dies. Wow, these are pretty fast battles here in the early stages. But I think this build will be pretty viable for the later levels as well. Alright, let's go check the Underspire. Now this is a little bit tricky. If you happen to have a couple of these IFR troops, this is going to be pretty okay build. I'm using Earth's Fury here up top. That works pretty similarly than Mang, but instead your hero gaining ulti attack, the attack will be spread for all of your allies. This weapon eliminates all armor from an enemy and then deals magic plus 5 damage, and then gives all allies 2 attack boost by the armor eliminated, and the boost ratio is 3 to 1. This is going to work fine in the higher levels, especially as you are using Elementalist, as long as you remember to keep your hero barriered. That is very much essential when you are fighting your hero up top in the high level battles with Earth's Fury. This IF Arch explodes a row and then deals pretty heavy damage to a random enemy, which is boosted by red gems, brown gems and skulls in the row. And the nice thing about this troop is that first of all it is immune to stun. It gains 2 magic when he takes damage. And the third trait, Eye of Destruction, creates 2 Doom Skulls at the start of my turn. So when you have a couple of these, there is going to be 4 Doom Skulls spawned every time you get your turn back, and those are going to maybe match randomly or generate some extra turn alignments, etc. Pretty nice build as long as you keep your hero barriered. And I'm using Werewolf here in the last position. This troop explodes a gem and then creates 4 red gems boost by skulls destroyed, and the boost ratio is times 3. Maybe you have used this troop already. This is one of these bounty troops. So basically you just pick a gem that is surrounded by lots of skulls, and red gems are going to be generated on the board. Let's try this team against Shekra and company. There are those skulls. Do we have extra turn? We don't. And we don't brown gems either. So this could be a very crucial part in the high level battles. So maybe this has to be adjusted a little bit. Yeah, not working very reliably, to say the least. Okay. Okay, maybe we try that another build that I had in mind. Hopefully the boss is over here. So the other build, how was that? I think it was like this, and then I used Curse Breaker Axe. I think it was just like this. Yes, and this way. Okay. Again, using Werewolf and using Grosh-Nak in the second position, who gives all Orc allies a 50% mana, meaning him only. Uh, deals a 1 true damage to all allies, not biggie really, and then creates 7 red and 7 brown gems boost by Orc allies, and then summons an Orc troop. The summon is a big deal here in the later levels, and as we have only one Orc, this is going to create 8 red and 8 brown gems. We're using this Curse Breaker Axe over here because first of all, it is mana blocked by Grosh-Nak, but we have enough of mana generation, especially those red gem mana generations here, so I don't think it is a big deal if we are using the weapon over here. But if you like, you can swap them this way, or even use your axe up top, because again we are using Elementalist and you have that rock solid trait. But I like it this way. This axe deals magic plus 8 damage to the first 2 enemies and plus 4 per tempering level. Then blesses all red allies and curses all red enemies. Wyvern, how do you even pronounce this? Deals magic plus 5 damage to the first 2 enemies and then poison the last 2 enemies. Start battles with 50% mana, so pretty quick to get up. Anyway, this weapon and this Wyvern both deal damage to the first 2 enemies, so hopefully you can shut down the enemies with Elementalist third trait and generate mana with Werewolf and Grosh-Nak and deal damage with your axe and Wyvern. Let's try this team. And once again, if you have a good build for this Grosh-Nak Underspire, please post that in the comments. I really like to check them out. And sometimes there are some very nice ones over there. Let's take those skulls. That's pretty good idea here in the early levels. Now let's generate some gems with Grosh-Nak, and we didn't connect much. So now would be a good time to get our Werewolf up, however we don't have any, but Wyvern is going to deal damage over there. If you lose your Werewolf up top, then you can summon replacement with Grosh-Nak. Do we have a boss over here? We do, that's great. Let's try fight with this build against Garnet-Selling. Not satisfied at this point with these Grosh-Nak builds. I gotta say that. Now we could create some red gems by exploding this brown gem over here, which is surrounded by 3 skulls. Let's do that. Nice. Let's take those extra turns. And let's deal damage with our axe. It could be pretty slow in the higher levels. I feel like that. Yeah, maybe do one more to get through this gate against Xathanos. So get your Grosh-Nak or your Werewolf up. Let's do that. Okay, they took our brown gems. I don't think we are going to connect extra turn. So let's do that. Then this. And now I suppose we could try. Nope. Yeah. Pretty much knew that already. But our wolf will generate some red gems on the board. There. Gotta work this out, I think. Maybe I'll do another video when I find out a good build for the higher levels. Alright, that's about this for this week. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, please comment if you have something to say. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. Hassle off. Peace out.